Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA content, sportsbook prize picks, anything you can think of, I do make content for. All these videos that get posted to this Reddit. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. There was so much news today. Just loved all the Knicks. There was just, yeah, a lot of news. I make updates with all the, yeah, everything that comes out. You can ask me questions leading up to lock about the slate. I will always be here. So that'll be linked down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on X right here. I'll have that link down below. And then if you're looking for more in-depth content, I'll have my Discord link down below where I give you guys player pools for cores, cash, GPPs, private videos, core plays, flag plants, and GPPs, whole bunch of stuff. That will be down below. So yeah, let's go over my lineup tonight. I went with my core today nuked. Like my core was Donovan Mitchell, core play, Mikal Bridges, core play, Jared Allen, core play, and then who's the last one? Mikal, Donovan, Jared Allen, Peyton Watson, I think. I can just look. Uh, yeah, Peyton Watson. So core nuked. I told everyone once we got that Knicks news, they were just loved Mikal. Josh Hart was great too. Jericho Sims I played for value. Little bit disappointed with the minutes there for him. And then I did a really tough 2v2 that I was debating. I originally had Jamal Murray and Trey Murphy in my lineup over Brandon Ingram and Dario Saric. Really tough 2v2. Dario Saric, projections around the industry were only projecting him for like 15 minutes and like maybe it was like 16, 17 minutes, like 17 fantasy points. I just thought that was way off. Way off. So I knew Dario was going to be way under owned than he should have been. And Brandon Ingram with the team to himself, I thought was a good play. The Trey Murphy side, Jamal Trey Murphy side projected so much better. So I went with the IKB route and went with just praying that industry was wrong on Sarge, and I was right there. He was kind of a Walmart Jokic out there, which he can stuff the stat sheet. He's a guy that can stuff the stat. He got the minutes. He actually kind of had a floor game for the minutes that he got. He's about a fantasy point per minute player, maybe even a little bit over, especially playing the five, right? So he should have done better, to be honest. Brendan Ingram had like 40 fantasy points in the first half, a little bit of a letdown second half, but still great game from him. And yeah, that's my lineup. Had a great day. It's been I'm having my best NBA season I think I've ever had. Already have two binks. Been cashing most slates. It's been crazy, to be honest. I really don't know what to say. So yeah, got a 4 game slate for you guys. I did have the rotations up, but I was kind of just googling depth charts and stuff like that instead of rotations and on Google how many minutes, because some of these teams are on back-to-backs, like Toronto, Pels, Sacramento on a back-to-back, Spurs on a back-to-back. So those rotations aren't up yet, but Toronto. So we can take a look at what they did tonight. Same guys are going to be out today that are out for tomorrow. So we can just take a look at what they did tonight up against the Pistons. So same starters as always when they're out. Devion, Grady, Jakob RJ Barrett, OG Abaji. Finally, he didn't have a good game. And then the bench is just gross. Boucher's minutes, they're going to fluctuate. I really have no confidence in anyone off the bench. Chris Boucher was projecting to be like chalky today until other values opened up. Pretty wild stuff there. But let's go over it. Fine spot here going up against Boston. RJ Barrett with the team to himself at 8-4. Listen, his potentials go way up with him. I know quickly off the court. You saw it tonight. He almost had a double-double with assists. Should play big minutes in a competitive game. 8.4K does seem like a reasonable price point. Like, let's see who he's around. I certainly would rather play like a Brandon Ingram over like an RJ Barrett. But I'd rather play like an RJ over Kyrie or Jaylen Brown. These guys down here a little bit. I think Fox versus RJ. I think I prefer Fox, assuming DeMar DeRozan's out. But yeah, I think RJ is certainly a very good point per dollar play for tomorrow. Jakob Poeltl had a monster game tonight. Al Horford is in, so the matchup isn't as good as it would be with Al Horford out. But of course, still in play. Like, the ceiling is just absolutely massive. With these guys off the court, he does get a massive bump. So Don't mind Jakob Poeltl there. I would say he's probably him and Zubac. It's been incredible. Still going to be a decent play at that price point. And like Grady Dick, if you want to chase the ceiling games, by all means, just know the floor is low for him when he's not hitting his shots. He's not going to continue to shoot like 60% from three, but ceiling is massive. I would say if he's going to be popular, I think it's one thing. I'll just probably fade him just because the floor is so low. The price is way, way up. So not too excited about Grady Dick there. OJ Abaji, I'm not going to play. I'm just not going to play if he gets there tomorrow for the slappies. The good thing with him is he's going to play a ton of minutes, but I am not a believer that OJ Abaji is also going to. This Raptors team just going to continue to shoot 60% from the field and three. Davion, fine at 5.5K. He has the ball in his hands a lot more. He's not going to do a ton offensively, it seems, of late, but he will have the ball in his hands a ton. Him, RJ Barrett, kind of distributing for this team. I think he's decent at 5.5, the playable option. Yeah, I'm not messing with the bench. I think favorite plays here are definitely RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl here. Let's move on to Boston. So we got big news to monitor here with Boston. Drew Holiday is questionable. It'd be interesting to see what they do with the starting lineup here. They could do so many different things. They could slide everyone down and go back to that like double big lineup. They could do that. They could insert like a Sam Hauser into the starting lineup. They could do so many things here. So luckily this is the first game, so I'll make updates when we do get that news. But it's going to be bumps like if Drew Holiday's out, Peyton Pritchard's going to get a significant bump. Sam Hauser's going to get a bump, and then just wait on the lineup. So if he's out, I really like Pritchard for value at 4.9. I think it's decent value regardless, just because he's going to play. His role's been a lot better this year. He's playing a ton more minutes, and they're going up against bad teams. And we know that quote I'm going to say for the millionth time: when they're going up against bad teams, they're going to let Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser kind of run the show offensively. So I like Sam Hauser. I like Pritchard for value, especially if Drew Holiday's out. I still think they're good values regardless if Drew Holiday's out, but if Drew sits, I really like both for value. I think Derek White at 7K with everyone healthy is a little bit tough to get to for me, but still firmly in play. I'd much prefer playing like a Jaylen Brown for $900 more to a Derek White, but still in play. It's a short slate, massive ceiling. His potentials have been a lot better this year as well, and they're just playing massive minutes. And I like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. I think both are a little bit too cheap. More so Jaylen Brown at 7.9. These two guys, they have the highest usage on the team. Jason Tatum is stat sheet stuffer. His double-double upside spot up against Toronto is fine. Nothing to complain about there. So, like Tatum as a spend up. I think Brown's a little bit too cheap. More so into Derek White if Drew Holiday sits. And then, I like the value plays, especially if Drew Holiday sits. And then keep it on the starting lineup. Like, they can do a number of things. Go with that, like, double big lineup. They can move everyone down. Start, like, Hauser possibly, too. They could do a number of things. Moving on to the Lakers. So, Rui Hachimura was out tonight. They went with Dalton Knecht in the starting lineup, which is what I predicted. If Rui is out again, I really like Dalton Knecht for value. Just a guy that's going to chuck when he's out there. I believe he had a good game tonight, I want to say, as well, but did only play around 26 minutes, I think, what I saw. Where is he? 26 minutes, did have a good game. Low floor, but with not a ton of value on the slate, he would be a solid value. Would probably be one of the better values, depending on what happens with news. So like Knecht if Rui Hachimura is out. If he's in, Knecht's still playable, but significant downgrade. You couldn't pay me to play a guy like Cam Reddish, so I will pass there. And then D'Lo coming off the bench, a bit too pricey, although he did have a massive game tonight. I will say if Rui's out, minutes should be a lot more secure for him off the bench. Like, still some interest at 5.7. And then the main guys, like Austin Reeves, LeBron, AD. I always love AD. LeBron went for another triple-double tonight. It's like super safe, both these guys. They're dominating usage. Both are stat sheet stuffers. AD, good defender. He can rack up his defensive stats. More valuable in FanDuel, but 10.6K looking at the spend-ups on the slate. You have Luka, you have Wemby, you have AD, you have LeBron, you have Tatum. I think all of them look pretty damn similar to me. But both good spend-ups. And Reeves at 7.3, kind of similar to like a Derek White. I think he's starting to get to the price point to where he should be, but I have no issue playing him. No issue at all. And keep it on Rui news. If he's in, he would be a solid point per dollar value for the slate. If he's out, I like Dalton Knecht for value. This team is just a mess. If you're a Pelicans fan, you run absolutely awful. Just terrible awful. Just unless you're a Sixers fan, we're just horrible. But all right, let's take a look. So, same guys are going to be out. Javonte Green got the start, 26 minutes. Brandon Boston Jr. playing massive minutes in the starting lineup. Missy Been playing extremely well in the starting lineup. And then Trey Murphy, 30 minutes, great to see. He should get an uptick in minutes. Could sit on a back-to-back too. Brendan Ingram, 37 minutes, and then they played Jalen Noel mainly off the bench with some JRE. All right, so yeah, keep an eye. Can they sit Murphy here? I don't even know what his injury was. They would be so thin if they sit Murphy, but it is a back-to-back. I guess it's possible. But how do you not love Brandon Ingram on this team by himself? I played him tonight. Absolutely love him tomorrow. I think he's one of my more favorite spend-ups up on the board. Just going to play massive minutes. The spot's fine up against the Lakers. Starting at the point, him, Brandon Boston, main distributors, stat sheet stuffer. I mean, pace should be up. Lakers have been playing fast, I believe, this year, unless they're not from last year. I know last year they did, same team, so I would expect them to be again. I love Brandon Ingram tomorrow. I think he's a really good spend up, and I still like Brandon Boston Jr. at 6.8K, just around a fantasy point per minute guy. He's playing 40 minutes a game. He's stuffing the stat sheet, so I still like me some Brandon Boston. Trey Murphy, I really like, assuming he plays. Absolutely love him at 5.7K, assuming he does play. I think Missy is firmly in play. Javonte Green's a playable value. JRE's getting to the price point to where he's so being same with Jalen Noel, but Noel is playable. Just not going to project great at that price point. All right, let's move on to the Spurs. So Sochan going to remain out. Trey Jones going to remain out. They are in a back-to-back, so see if anyone sits. But we're going to go over it assuming everyone plays. So you guys always know I like to target Daniel Gafford. What better not to target Daniel Gafford with than Victor Wembanyama? Back-to-back here, so has he played a back-to-back yet? I kind of want to see if they trolled his minutes. They did not. They kept it easy on his first game. So should play low to mid-30s minutes, 11K. Phenomenal matchup going up against Dallas. I think he's one of the better spin-ups up on the board. Chris Paul is just super consistent. But with Devin Vassell back, my only issue with Chris Paul is when Devin Vassell was out, he was taking a lot more load offensively. With Vassell back, he's kind of ticked off that offensive load a little bit. But still a stat shoot stuffer. Super, super safe. Hard to get to Vassell off the bench at 5'6". He could sit, I guess, to its back-to-back. Keldon at 5'5" has the ceilings. These two guys have ceilings, but off the bench, they're priced right. And then Castle played massive minutes tonight. I also wish he was cheaper, but he's been really, really good. So no issue with Castle. I think he's a decent value. Champagne's playable, but I prefer like a Castle. Barnes at 4 or 5. We can just take a look at the minutes. What they ended with tonight up against the Lakers. Yeah, about what I expected. Yeah, I think it's going to do it for the Spurs. I think the main standouts here for me are Victor Wembanyama, and I think, Castle's fine. Chris Paul. If you want to take large field plays like Vassell, Keldon Johnson, you could, and just pray they have ceiling games, and then Harrison Barnes is playable for value. No large field darts I like here for value, unless, how many minutes Branham play? 6 minutes. Yakers went to more Castle, so. All right, PJ is going to be doubtful for this tough matchup going up against the Spurs, but it's Luka Doncic. He's always going to be one of the best spend-ups up on the board. I honestly think it's very, very close on who I prefer between Luka Doncic and Victor Wembanyama. I think it's extremely close. Actually, I think, public is probably going to side with Luka, but I think it's a lot closer than what the public is going to think. But yeah, Luka Wemby, the two best spend-ups up on the board if we're saying, over that 10K range. I like Kyrie Irving quite a bit at 8.3K. He seems a bit too cheap playing massive minutes. He sat last game. Klay Thompson, I don't even mind at 5.5K. He got benched last game but came back, hit that 3-ball. I don't mind him. Gafford Lively. Gafford's so bad. So bad. So bad. They also benched Najee Marshall last game, but he still played massive minutes off the bench. If Kleba starts, I'm not playing him. If they go back to like Najee Marshall, you can go there. And also like Grimes for value. He's had a good role off the bench. He started last game for Kyrie, but off the bench, last 2 games, he's played extremely well. So I would expect him to have to continue to play decent minutes off the bench. So don't mind Grimes for value, and then keep it on the lineup. If they like bench Najee again, tough to go there at 5.2. I'm not going to play Kleba. I don't think there's a spot where they can play Kleba much. And then Lively got into massive foul trouble. And then Daniel Gafford's just been so bad. He got benched last game. So tough to trust that. I definitely like Lively. Like, I think they want to play Lively all the minutes he can handle at this point with Gafford playing horribly, as long as he stays out of foul trouble. So I am pretty high on Derek Lively tomorrow. I think he's my favorite play on Dallas, to be honest, alongside Luka and Kyrie. Moving on to Utah, keep it on the marketing news. If marketing plays, they started, what's the lineup? Filipowski at the 5. I believe John Collins. Let me just pull it up. They have this up. Here it is. Filipowski at the 5, John Collins, Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, Keontae George. And then you saw Clarkson play 30 minutes. The guards, they're kind of splitting the minutes. And then nothing really off the bench, really. So let's go over it both ways if Markkanen plays. So if something's got to be, I mean, he looks bad from his injuries. Like nothing more than a GPP only play for me. John Collins, I really like. He's my favorite play on Utah. Him, Kyle Filipowski, if they go back to that Filipowski lineup. I really like Filipowski for value. And then John Collins, I really, really like. I think the guards look solid. And Keontae George, Jordan Clarkson should split the minutes with him and Sexton. I like him for value. I think Keontae George is fine. Love John Collins. Really like Filipowski. Keep an eye on Markkanen. If he's out, Cody Williams should start. He'd be a playable value. Then you'll probably see like more Juzang. But yeah, I like a ton here for Utah tomorrow. And then moving on to Sacramento. DeMar DeRozan, I would expect to be back here. But we can go over it both ways. So if DeRozan's out to start at Alex Len, he'd be a playable value at the flat min price. I don't think he's playing that many minutes though right now. I do want to see. 6 minutes, yeah, they're only going to give him 2 shifts. They're going to play more Trey Lyles off the bench, just play Sabonis as a 5. I don't know what they were doing starting Alex Len, to be honest. But yeah, so with DeMar DeRozan out, Malik Monk out, you're going to see a massive bump for Kevin Huerter. 5-5, probably priced right, but still in play. Keegan Murray gets bumped as well. But I would really like De'Aaron Fox at 8-6, and I'd really like Domantas Sabonis, and then Keon Ellis would be a playable value. He'll get a bump off the bench. And then I would like Trey Lyles for value quite a bit. Seems like they're going to play him around low 20s minutes. Yeah, would really like Trey Lyles for value if we get that same situation. If DeMar's in, then yeah, I like Fox. I think DeMar's good. Sabonis is good. Keegan Murray, Huerter would be priced right. And it wouldn't really be on the value here. So that's going to do it for the slate. Hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to y'all in the next video.